obviously you're using a lot of lineups that are unfamiliar with each other. How do you go about assessing a game like that and some of the defensive breakdowns that happened early?
Well, yeah, I think that my probably main two concerns assessing that game are just that, a lot of defensive breakdowns of just breakdowns of schemes and coverages, and it kind of started early with just poor transition, right? We weren't getting matched up very well. Second quarter, we finally start running back and making them play, execute pretty well in a lot of the schemes and stuff we're doing, but it just wasn't nearly consistent enough. Just blown coverages and blown schemes like haven't felt before.
Like a lot of the double teams, especially, or the traps, like were particularly, again, not like you've seen recently.
Yeah.
Is that just chalked up to these guys don't play together a lot, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a little bit of that, but it's just mistakes. We just made a lot of mistakes, right? The wrong guy doubled, the wrong direction, things like that. Just not executing what was supposed to be executed. I mean, listen, I'm going to go too crazy here. There's a really good, motivated team over there with a lot of scorers and shooters, and our guys aren't feeling great, right? A couple of our guys that came back are still coming off sickness and things like that, so I'm not going to sit here and go crazy and get all over everybody here. We will learn from what we can learn and just try to regroup. Got a day off tomorrow, and we'll just hope guys start coming back, and the guys that did get a play should help them for the next time, that haven't played for a bit, get some of that out of them, get their legs underneath them, get some conditioning back, etc.
I'll ask you about a positive another night where Thad does a lot of good things. During this stretch with so many guys in and out, how much of a steadying presence has he been?
He's been good, right? I think that he just kind of continues to do the same thing, 8 or 10, 12 shots, shoots a pretty high percentage, gets a solid number of rebounds, is doing a good job leadership-wise too. He's good in the huddles, and he's trying to keep those guys going, things like that. So he's been a true pro.
Looking ahead, was Freddie's absence tonight? Is that the continuation of what it was? Like he just never really got healthy, or is this something new? And I mean, could he be back as soon as Saturday?
He could be back, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think it probably went away and came back, right? That's what I would think. If he was able to play as much as he did, I doubt if he kind of still had it. So I would imagine he got something again.
You guys held Durant to just 12 points, but he's plus 30. What does that say about what he's able to do to your defense or when he's on the court?
Well, he's always been a guy that makes the right play when we send schemes at him. When he shakes loose one-on-one, he usually shoots it, and if he's double-teamed, he gets off it. And that's what he did tonight.
Coach, you had some comments the other day about Gary Trent Jr. and how you kind of wanted to see more from him. How do you think he's reacted to, I guess, your feedback and how the conversation's been with him? Well,
I think that he's okay, but I think he's just working his way back in. Like, he's been out quite a few games. He's also had the sickness. I don't think he's in top condition right now. I think he did what he could do tonight. Was decent offensively. I'll have to look a little bit at the defensive stuff, but I thought he did what he could do tonight, and working himself back into condition is good to get him 30 minutes out there tonight.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks. After these games, you're cold tubbing it, you're hot tubbing it, you're getting on the training table and getting some manual therapy, just every single thing, just making sure that you take care of your body at all costs.
So, roughly after each game, how much time would you put in?
Probably like 30 to 40 minutes. Usually my wife and kids are waiting on me and texting me and saying, what's taking so long? I'm usually the last guy in the locker room and stuff like that. But, they understand. They understand that in order for me to continue to keep chugging along, I have to continuously take care of my body and make sure that I'm doing the things that, I need to continue to play. And that's what I'm teaching, my young sons, just taking care of your body and making sure that you do the things that you need to do.
Does it change much when you play, like you played 28, I think tonight, 35 the other night versus 15 or 20? Like, does it change?
No, it's the same. It's the same, regardless if I play or I don't play. I try to keep the same regimen. I try to make sure that I'm still doing all the same stuff. Cold tubbing it every day, hot tubbing it every day. Just making sure that I'm getting the manual therapy and the treatment, and just continuing to just take care of the body. Because that's the way we play. That's the way you get to playing 1,100 games and having a long career.
Yeah, who was your vet? Like, who taught you all that stuff?
I had plenty of vets. Andre Iguodala, Elton Brand, Daniel Marshall, Theo Ratliff. Like, just watching, all those guys. Andre Miller, like, on down the line. Just watching guys just continuously, like, do certain things when they're in year 13, 14, 15, and the stuff that they're doing is continuously keeping them going. And so I'm very happy and ecstatic that I can continue to still play at a high level, and hopefully I can continue to sustain and do it for many more years.
Thad, Nick was saying that your leadership during this stretch where the team's been shorthanded has been huge in terms of teaching the guys what it is to be a pro. What has your message been to those guys?
Just continuously, like, staying the course, understanding that, we have to play basketball a certain way in order for us to win basketball games. We don't have, we didn't have Fred. We don't have Pascal out there. We don't have certain guys that's going to help us and that's going to do all the scoring for us. So, we have to put ourselves in a position as a team to continue to be able to win basketball games, and we were pretty good for half of the game. It's just when you got guys like on the other side like Kyrie and KD, you put so much attention on those guys, and then once they start getting hot, it's kind of hard to stop them. But for us, it's just about staying the course and just making sure that we're doing the right things, because the margin for error is very, very slim. When you don't have your guys out there, your main guys.
And earlier in the season, when you weren't getting the opportunity to play, do you have to remind yourself of being that pro, or is it something that's just second nature now?
There's no reminding myself of being a pro. It's just who I am as a player. It's who I am as a man. Regardless if the situation is going my way or not, I only know one thing, and that's to work. Put my head down, continue to grind, continue to work, and to continue to make sure that I'm doing the things that that Toronto Raptors brought me here for. To help these young guys continue to chug along and continue to get better as a group. But also, when it's time for me to step in and do my job to the best of my abilities, and while I'm doing my job, to be able to show them, like, this is how we should be playing basketball. This is how the game is played. This is how you stick around for a long period of time. And this is how you get people on your side to make them continuously want to give you jobs, or want to have you around, or want you to be that professional or that vet that's going to help the locker room.
What do you learn from the younger players on the team, and also, I guess, just what do you learn from your own children?
You can learn a lot from the young guys, just how they kind of see the game and how the game has changed and how they're adapting their games to all the other young guys that's going in this league. My kids, they don't really teach me a lot as of right now, but they're learning and growing. And that's the one thing about both of my sons. They both listen. They both understand basketball. They both know how to play the game. And I'm teaching them the right way to play the game. Not just go out there and score, but have intangibles. Have all the small things down first, and then you can get to the scoring. That's going to come. They're at such a young age. They're very gullible. So you don't want them to learn and create bad habits. You want them to have good habits. You want them to continuously go out there and be able to play the right way. And it's the same thing with the young guys on this team. You don't want them to create bad habits, because bad habits, don't get you to 16. It gets you to 5. It gets you to 7. And then, you're looking for a job. I'm trying to have these young guys play as long as I'm playing.
Could you have imagined playing this long, 16 years, 1,100 games when you first came in?
I think me and Fred was just like talking about this, on a plane, and he was saying, did you did you imagine this? And I'm like, nah, honestly, I just wanted to make it, and then I wanted to play, 5 years, and then 5 went to 10. And then 10 went to 15, and now I'm at 16. So, when you're just playing basketball and you're just having fun and you're just enjoying life, and time flies by. I still remember the first day I was drafted and came to this league 7 days after my 19th birthday, and I was obviously happy and ecstatic, but the work had just begun for me, and I knew that I was going to continuously work in order to continue to put myself in a position to where I'll be in the league for a long time.
In those 16 seasons, has there ever been a situation like this where the amount of players, the long stretch of time of injuries and illnesses ever dragged on this long?
I wouldn't say that. I would probably. It's been a couple times where like I was in situations like that but I was I was one of the starters at that point. When those things were happening. But this is a very unfortunate time for us. But the good thing is we can continue to try to get better and get the young guys better, and we still can put ourselves in position to win basketball games. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, we're still in the early part of the season, and we still have a chance to do really well. The good thing for us is these injuries are happening right now. And when these guys come back, we're going to have guys who hadn't played, that's played now, that's groomed, and they understand how to play an NBA basketball game. They understand how to come in and contribute, the way we need them to contribute, and it'll be easy for them to step in and fulfill a role.
When it comes to, you get pinch post possessions with the Raptors, and famously this season, guys like Pascal and Luka are the players who get those currently.
Right.
Post-ups aren't that popular.
Right.
Is it cool to be able to do a throwback? You talked about being a star earlier in your career, to those types of creation possessions.
I just try to play to the point of how it makes us a better team. Like, I'm not looking for certain things to do, or if it's throwback or not. I'm just trying to get us the best shot possible, and that's it may be in the pinch post, that may be in the low post area, that may be like me taking the ball as a transporter from side to side and getting guys downhill to where if they do go up and they miss a shot, I can get the offensive rebound. So just like small things, those small things lead to one overall thing, and that's the win a basketball game. So just trying to do all the small things.
You mentioned the people who were your vets when you got into the league, but did you have an appreciation for vets who had been in the league for a long time before you got in?
Yeah, of course. Like, I had an appreciation for everybody who's in the league, because they've done something to get them to that point. You watch guys, they might not be the best guys, but they've done something, and you admire, their work and what they do. And, I think that's what's made me a better player, just admiring bits and pieces of everybody's game. And it was like looking at certain guys like, man, I want to play just as hard as he does. Like one of the guys that, nobody really ever thinks of, is a guy named Reggie Evans. Rebounding machine, worked his butt off, played a long time in the league, and I was fortunate and blessed enough to have him as a teammate, and he taught me a lot of stuff about playing hard, just going out there and just giving it your all. And from watching him and seeing him, that turned my mindset completely different, to go out and make sure that I'm doing that every single night, because those are the guys who last long periods of time.
What's been the biggest area of progress that you've seen from the guys that don't typically get this amount of minutes?
Say that again?
What's been the biggest area of progress that you have seen from your teammates that don't get this amount of minutes normally?
The guys are they're learning. Like they're learning, and some of the guys, they're going out there and they're scoring the basketball, but they're also remaining poised and trying to figure things out of how to run the offense, or trying to figure things out like this is going to be the spot that I'm going to make the team better, and like rebounding the basketball. Like they're giving bits and pieces of every single thing. Like, not having Pascal, not having Fred, like those are huge voids to fill. And, if we can get bits and pieces from every guy that's going to like play that didn't play, then it'll put us in a great position. So that's what we've been trying to get, just bits and pieces from everybody. And guys have been doing their jobs. The ball's just not falling in our and didn't fall in our favor tonight.
Thanks, Thad.
Thanks, Thad.
Congratulations.
We can play